Jeffrey Epstein, the man who knew too much. He had it all: private jets, luxury mansions, and a private island in the Caribbean. And friends in the highest places: presidents, princes, billionaires. But behind that wealth was a hidden empire built on manipulation, exploitation, and secrets. When Jeffrey Epstein died in a New York jail cell in 2019, the world didn't believe it was over. His death wasn't the end. It was the spark that exposed a world of power, privilege, and silence. Jeffrey Edward Epstein was born in Brooklyn, New York, on January 20, 1953, a working-class kid. Epstein was brilliant, skipped 2 grades, loved math, and graduated early. But college, he didn't finish. Still, his intelligence opened doors that money couldn't. At 21, he landed a job at the Dalton School, an elite prep academy in Manhattan. He taught physics and math to the children of New York's richest families. And one of those families would change his life forever. At Dalton, Epstein impressed a parent, Alan Ace Greenberg, the chairman of Bear Stearns. Greenberg offered him a job. Overnight, the teacher became a Wall Street insider. Fast-talking, confident, mysterious. But in 1981, Epstein suddenly left Bear Stearns, under murky circumstances. That same year, he founded J. Epstein and Company, his business, managing money for billionaires. He claimed to work only with clients worth over $1 billion. But no one could name a single one. Still, Epstein's wealth exploded, and no one knew how. There was one known client, Leslie Wexner, the founder of L Brands, the empire behind Victoria's Secret. Wexner gave Epstein full control of his money, even power of attorney. That meant Epstein could buy or sell anything in Wexner's name. Through that power, Epstein acquired his $77 million Manhattan mansion, one of the biggest private homes in the city. A home that would later become infamous, the center of his dark empire. Behind the polished smile and designer suits, Epstein hid a nightmare. He surrounded himself with young women, many underage, promising jobs, money, or education. In 2005, a 14-year-old girl told police Epstein paid her for a massage that turned sexual. When police raided his Palm Beach mansion, they found hundreds of photos of teenage girls. More victims came forward. They said Epstein and his close associate Ghislaine Maxwell recruited, groomed, and abused them. It wasn't one mistake. It was a system built on fear, wealth, and silence. Epstein should have faced decades in prison. Instead, he cut a secret deal. In 2008, he pleaded guilty to 2 state charges, not federal trafficking. He served 13 months, much of it on work release, leaving jail daily. The deal, called a non-prosecution agreement, protected not only him, but any unnamed co-conspirators. The prosecutor, Alex Acosta, later joined Trump's cabinet and resigned when the deal came to light. For victims, it was betrayal. For Epstein, it was proof that money could buy freedom. Epstein wasn't just rich, he was connected. Bill Clinton flew on his private jet for charity trips. Donald Trump knew him from Palm Beach circles. Prince Andrew became a close friend, later accused by Virginia Giuffre of sexual abuse. Tech billionaires like Bill Gates met Epstein for philanthropy talks, even after his conviction. His social circle was power itself, most denied wrongdoing. But Epstein's world of influence was about to collapse. July 6, 2019, Epstein's private jet lands in New Jersey. Federal agents swarm him. He's charged with sex trafficking minors in Florida and New York. The FBI seizes cash, diamonds, and hard drives full of photos. He's denied bail, facing 45 years, the rest of his life. Finally, it looked like justice was coming. But 1 month later, it was over. August 10, 2019, 6:30 a.m. Epstein is found dead in his cell at the Metropolitan Correctional Center. Official cause: suicide by hanging. But everything felt wrong. Guards fell asleep. Cameras failed. His cellmate was transferred the night before. Paperwork was falsified. A private pathologist said the neck injuries were more consistent with strangulation. The internet exploded. Epstein didn't kill himself, became a global meme, and a global suspicion: was it suicide or silence? The world still doesn't know. After Epstein's death, the spotlight turned to Ghislaine Maxwell, the woman who once called Epstein brilliant. In 2021, she was found guilty of sex trafficking minors and conspiracy. Sentenced to 20 years in prison. Even from behind bars, Maxwell said, "I believe he was murdered." Her conviction proved one thing: Epstein didn't act alone. The Epstein files, thousands of pages. Hard drives. Photos. Flight logs. Bank transfers. Together, they became known as the Epstein files. In 2025, Congress released 33,000 pages of documents. They revealed his finances, travel, and connections across politics, academia, and business. But most of it was redacted. Officials said it was to protect victims. The public believed it was to protect the powerful, the so-called client list. Investigators said it doesn't exist. But the patterns of power and silence told their own story. The Epstein files are a mirror, reflecting not one man's crimes, but a system's failure. The victims fight back. After Epstein's death, his estate, worth $577 million, became a fund for victims. More than 135 women received $125 million in compensation. The U.S. Virgin Islands won another $105 million for trafficking on his island. Money can't erase trauma, but it helped rebuild lives. These women turned pain into power. They forced the world to face the truth, even when justice failed them. Jeffrey Epstein's story isn't just about one man. It's about how power protects itself, how money buys silence, and how courage can still break through. Epstein's death ended his life, but not his shadow. Because inside those redacted pages, and in the voices of his survivors, the truth is still alive. Power hides in the dark, but the truth never sleeps. Newly released documents from Jeffrey Epstein's estate caused a stir in Washington on November 12, 2025. Democrats on the House Oversight Committee released 3 emails suggesting Donald Trump may have known about Epstein's sex trafficking activities. A 2011 email from Epstein to Ghislaine Maxwell says, "That dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Victim, spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned." A 2019 email to author Michael Wolff claims, of course, he knew about the girls, as he asked Ghislaine to stop. That same day, Republicans dumped 20,000 pages of Epstein estate records, sparking debate and media chaos. So what does it all mean? These emails raise serious questions about Trump's awareness. But they do not prove criminal involvement. They show allegations, not confirmed evidence. As thousands of new pages come to light, one thing is clear: the Epstein story isn't over.